Welcome to the Red Half of Sheffield preview pod. Another one previewing our game next Saturday, a 3 p.m. kickoff. God, I'm glad it's back in the 3 p.m. kickoff time slot. I missed that time slot so much being in this stupid league. I am joined by Harry of the Park Lane podcast. How are you doing early afternoon on this Sunday time of recording, Harry? Thanks for joining us, by the way.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you. It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to, obviously, football being back after the international break. Looking forward to this game going myself. So I think it'd be a good one. Sheffield United, obviously, back in the Premier League. It would be a feisty one, a tasty one. So I'm really looking forward to getting into it. So thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into it. Sum up Spurs summer. How has now that the transfer window and about the first three, 4 weeks of the season have gone now? I guess you can sum up. It's a two-party question. Sum up the summer and how have Spurs got off to such a flying start without a missing cog to the wheel after the elephant in the room finally went to Bayern Munich. Sum it up.
Yeah, two good questions. Firstly, the transfer window. I think we brought in some really key players, the likes of James Maddison, Van der Ven, goalkeeper Vicario, made some good additions, and also got drastically improved our squad with players like Johnson and Son, and kind of improving the squad as a whole. So, impressive transfer window. It's partly a shame we didn't get more players out the door. Perhaps or find a bigger profile name to replace Kane, but it is what it is. Overall, I think it's a fairly successful window. And in terms of the start of the season, it couldn't have been really any better. 10 points out of a 12, a maximum 12 we could have got. So that's really good. Still, undefeated, playing some good stuff, good football as well. Joint best start. Along with last season. So it'll be a real test if we can keep this going after the international break. And if we can do it, it's got Arsenal, Liverpool coming up after you guys. That'll be a real test of how far we've come in such a short period of time. So it's going to be difficult, but I'm ready. We're playing some good stuff and we've just started very well. So long may that continue.
Now, a question for you. Ange Postecoglou. Is he the man to get Spurs their first piece of silverware since 2008, right? Correct?
Yes.
Is he the man to do it? I mean, it seemed to be over the past few seasons an almost like revolving door. And it's always highlighted that Daniel Levy is the one that's almost pulling the strings behind the scenes. Is Ange the one to get it over the line and get Spurs their first piece of silverware?
I really do believe that, and I didn't believe that when he was appointed. I wasn't sure. I wouldn't say I was against the appointment, but I didn't really understand it at the time when you had higher profile managers like Nagelsmann who didn't have a job at the time, Tuchel as well. But I think that over time we've come round. I think he's got us fans on side really quickly. I love his brand of football. We've started the season really well. We've done really well in the transfer market as well. So I do believe he can be the man. And I think obviously he's new to the Premier League. He's going to make mistakes. I think his biggest mistake so far was not going full strength or a stronger team against Fulham in the second round of the Carabao Cup, because the club at Tottenham, we haven't, like you said, Chad, haven't won a major trophy since 2008, the League Cup. So we really need to treat them seriously. So hopefully he'll do that with the FA Cup. I think it'll be a long-term project, maybe not the season, but I think eventually we will see a trophy, if not more. I think he's the man to do that. And that's what we were after, really, because it's all good finishing this other Champions League football, you're getting top four, but it's no good if you're not going to compete in the competition. People would have thought that Mourinho and Conte would have been the ones to win trophies, serial winner, proven manager, if you like, or even winner, an elite manager. But the brand of football didn't suit Tottenham, and they're not the right people to convince the Spurs fan base. I think Postecoglou represents everything the club are looking for on and off the pitch. So I do believe that. And I think Spurs fans have a lot to look forward to. But we'll have to bear in mind that Postecoglou's new to the Premier League, that this system's new to the Premier League, the players are new to the system, and that some with the league as well, the likes of Van der Ven, Adoki. So we're going to have to be patient, and we take some bumps. We'll be up and down at times. We may lose a couple of games, concede quite a few, but generally, yes, I think he's the man.
Yeah, and that's another question I was thinking while you were talking about Ange. Is it key for the supporters of Spurs not to get on his back if he puts a foot wrong and, you go on a barren run where I say you lose 3 in a row and you don't I mean, maybe you score 2 or 3 over a span of 3 and still lose it. Is it really key? Because it feels like especially with Conte,
Yeah.
he kept complaining he wasn't getting enough investment in the side, blah, 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 and the club weren't working with him. Is it very key for this to work, the supporters not to turn on him if a barren run comes, or if, you know, come the end of the season, you just miss out on Champions League or something like that? It's not the end of the world. Is this one where it's a tempered expectations for season one and hope
Yeah.
to, get him through his first season, reinvest maybe in January, and then in the summer, next
Yeah.
summer, and then give it a right go for next season, possibly challenge
Absolutely. Yeah,
top of the league.
exactly this, Chad. Yeah, I think you're spot on. This season, personally, like I said at the start of the season, there is no expectation as long as we see progress in either league position or playing better football, which we've already seen. So it's not fair to place that expectation this early on. Obviously, going forward, you want to be able to compete with the top teams, and just really set the standard early on. But you make a very important and valid point that fans mustn't turn on him. I think as a fan base, we're guilty judging players and managers and turning really, really quickly. Equally as important, though, I think for Daniel Levy, if we go on a 3-4, maybe more game like winless or losing run, not to pull because he's got that trigger next to him to sack him, and he has done that over the years. He done it in Mourinho before the cup final when we won on that little losing run. He done it at Pochettino at the start of the season after a few games. If he does have that habit of doing that, but I think he will know better than anybody that he's got to be patient. He's got to change his ways. He sees Postecoglou as the long-term answer, probably like he did with Pochettino. And I do believe that, so we've got to get behind him. However, mistakes, I think, obviously need to be called out respectfully to help him as a manager. Like, for example, against Fulham, I can admit I think he got that wrong. But, it's not right to, obviously, after that Fulham game, to throw him under the bus and, to kind of, switch off from him or not be behind him, if you like, because he made a mistake. Everyone does. It wasn't great. He didn't admit it, yes. But I think deep down he will know that, and I think it will show in the third round of the FA Cup, regardless of the opposition, would take it seriously. So we've got to get behind him. We've got to be patient. We've got to stick with it. And, because that's what fans are there for. They're there to back the team, back the manager, and support the club.
Yeah. I mean, you nailed it right there, man. That's the biggest thing, is especially with the big six clubs. I mean, it's if the results don't come right away, then the heat's on the back of the manager, and they're changing managers over the course of 6 months. I mean, just look at the disaster that is Chelsea. I mean, they're just, they are just an absolute disaster. All right, so ones to watch out for. Let the United fans. You alluded to some of the players, but obviously we'll know the ones of Son and James Maddison. So give us a couple of players not too many people are familiar with Spurs.
Okay. Yeah, very, very good point you make. For me, Destiny Udogie would be one, I think, because we signed him 2 seasons ago, but was on loan at Udinese last season. He caused both Bournemouth and Burnley in particular real problems down the flank, because he goes high, he plays aggressive. He just really suits the system. So I think he'll cause a lot of problems for Sheffield United's back line. I think Sheffield United won't want to commit that much, because we play with high fullbacks, play with inverted fullbacks as well. So I think Udogie will be one to watch out for. Basuma as well, I think, is another one. I think he started the season fantastically. I still believe has a shot on him, and he drives into the box. There would be the unknown too, but like you said, he got the obvious Maddison. Son as well. Kulusevski so far has had a great international break and looks better. I think bringing Brennan Johnson in has made him realise he's got to up his game. Maybe likewise with Son as well. So I think we're in a strong position. But Sheffield United would be very key. They need to take their chances when they come along, because we started well. And I think Sheffield United right now, I'm sure you can agree, you go away and take the point. I think there'd be a lot to make that happen. I think because we're going to be a team that scores goals, but it's possible if Sheffield United get their game plan spot on. But those are the players for me that really stand out as the unknown to Udogie and Basuma this season so far.
All right, so full-time Saturday.
Yeah,
Blades make the trip down to London. Last time I believe we were at this stadium, I think John Lundstrom's toe was adjudged to be offsides, and we could have taken all 3 points in that.
you got a point out of the game though, didn't you? It was
Yeah, we
1-1.
did. We did.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did get a point. And to be fair, we did beat you guys in the FA Cup to seal us into
yeah,
which turned into a magical run to the semifinal in the FA Cup.
yeah.
Okay, so full-time whistle Saturday. Give me what do you think is going to happen in this game, and give us your score prediction.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry to say I do think we will win, but I don't think it will be clear and obvious. I think Sheffield United will be looking and will give it their absolute all to get potentially even that first win. But I think they'll understand that it's going to be a lot. It's going to take a lot, be an uphill battle. So I think it'll be a really close game. I'm going to go with 2-0, but I think Sheffield United will be in the game right until the very end. And I think the only difference will be is that we eventually take our chances. And what it is, I think, the way we play under Ange, teams can only hold out for so long. So I think we get to the 60th, 70th minute, and that will be, I think, the breakthrough. But I think Sheffield United will put a really good performance in that we impress and maybe even, convince they can potentially stay in the Premier League, which is what you guys want to see on top of points on the board. So I'm going to go with 2-0 Tottenham. I fancy Son and Kulusevski to get on the score sheet. They look really bright at the moment, but I think it'll be a tight game. It can actually go either way because I don't know how we're going to start after the international break.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys, I would imagine you'll start that game with a full stacked best squad you have. So I think, if I have to say, I think you guys win going away 3-4-1. I think it's pretty much a drubbing. I think United will look much improved, but I think they won't have enough for Spurs.
Yeah.
And I think just Spurs going to that stadium and it will be a closely contested game. I just think United are in a different spot right now. And yes, we should have had a point against City. We, probably should have won the game against Everton, should have had a point against or Forest. I just think we're never good coming out of the international break. I think this one could be one of those where the scoreline is a bit flatters you guys, and I'll go with 3-1. One last question before we get out of here, Harry. What is your favorite match day beverage before you go to the Tottenham Stadium?
It's a great question. Believe it or not, I'm actually under the age for alcohol, so sadly I can't actually answer that question. But what I will say is lots of people do enjoy a drink before the game. So sadly I can't answer that one.
Well, you gotta have something that you go. It's a go-to. It doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage. You have to have, what is your go-to?
It's a good question. To be fair, it depends on the weather. Usually it'd be a hot drink, but this weather is too hot. So it might be something simple as a juice or something. But pretty much food and drink, you can't beat it. It's part of the match day experience. It's what we all love doing. And that's why I think it's important that, the prices of tickets aren't increased that much because of ongoing pursuit at Spurs, where they've increased the match day ticket prices by 20-25%. It's crazy, forcing working class people out the game, normal fans, as I call them, out the game. And this is important. It's part of what people love. We all love match day experience, win, lose or draw. But yeah, it really does depend on the weather.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, Harry, give the people all the social medias where they can listen to the Park Lane podcast and where they can follow you on social media.
Yeah, firstly, thank you very much for having me on. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Good luck for the rest of the season after Saturday, and I wish you all the best. Sheffield United, you don't want to see them go down. It'd be nice because people already think they're going down, so it'd be nice to see them stay up. If you want to follow me, you've got my handle there, Harry Scarfe 22, and Park Lane Podcasts, one of 4 co-hosts every Sunday, 7 p.m. I have to get used to the time changes. And also, if you want to check out my own channel, you can, Scarfe Spurs Talk, go live every Monday, 8 p.m. So it'd be massively appreciated. Tune in. Be massively appreciated. But yeah, good luck for the season, and thank you all.
Cool. And you guys, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, Red Half of Sheffield, follow us on Twitter, Red Sheffield. You follow me, C Jarvis _13 on whatever it is, X or Twitter or whatever the hell it is today. So until Saturday, yes, a 3 p.m. kickoff. Thank God we're back to probably get drubbed by Spurs. I will leave you with this: up the blades.